Starting in the name of Allah, the most merciful, mighty and gracious to all. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is Adil Sabir here with the course of Inferential Statistics. Basically, this course is the second extension of the Descriptive Statistics. Already we have discussed the first part in the third semester by the name of Descriptive Statistics. Now we are going to start the next part of the statistics, and that is known as Inferential Statistics. A bit already I have explained the idea of Inferential Statistics. This subject is same like the Descriptive Statistics in nature, like it is also quantitative in nature. 10% will be the theory, while 90% of the subject is quantitative in nature. Before starting the subject, let me give you some recommended books. The book Walpole R. Introduction to Statistics, edition 3rd, and the book Introduction to Statistics Part 2 by Dr. Sheikh Muhammad Chaudhry. Both are the well-known authors. Any of the book you can follow. Introduction to Statistics Part 2 by Dr. Sheikh Muhammad Chaudhry, that is a bit easy in understanding because most of the problems are already solved in this in this book. Now, what we basically cover in this course, that is a roadmap of your whole course, that what actually we are going to cover. Students, the inferential course is basically divided into two parts, or simply you can say the whole course is divided into two sections. The first section, you can look at here, the first section here, that is known as sampling distribution. Here it is. Let me first mention here, that is known as your sampling distribution. Now, under the sampling distribution, we will cover inshallah three topics. First, the sampling distribution of the mean, population mean, because these are the parameters. Then sampling distribution of the difference between two means, mu1 minus mu2. And the third, that is sampling distribution of the population proportion, that is population P. Once we completed these three topics, we will complete our sampling distribution section. Upon completion of sampling distribution, we will move to the next, and the next section, which is known as estimation of parameters. Don't worry, all the terminologies inshallah I will repeat it again to you, and it will make your idea more clear. Here just I am going to give you a roadmap that what basically we are going to cover in this whole course. Now we were talking about estimation of parameters. Estimation of parameters is the next part of your course, next topic of your course, the major topic. Now it is further divided into two subtopics. One is known as confidence interval and another is known as hypothesis testification. Now, inside the confidence interval, the first part, we will discuss total 4 further topics. Confidence interval is abbreviated as CI. C for confidence, I for interval. Confidence interval for mu, like mean, population mu, mean. Then confidence interval for the difference between two means, simply stated mu1 minus mu2. Confidence interval for the population proportion, that is simply P. And the last, confidence interval for the difference between two population means, that is simply P1 minus P2. After that, we will move to the next topic, that is hypothesis testification. Now, under the hypothesis testification, we will discuss total 4 topics. The first will be Z distribution. Z distribution is simply known as your normal distribution. What we will cover under your Z distribution, actually we will cover Z distribution regarding to hypothesis testification. We will study hypothesis testification for mu1 minus mu2, for P and P1 minus P2. Then we will move to the next sort of distribution, which is known as T distribution, and sometimes it is also known as your student's T distribution. There are total 3 topics we will discuss under your T distribution. After that, we have another important distribution which is known as chi-square distribution. Chi-square distribution, that is basically the hypothesis testification about the variation. We will study the variation hypothesis testification under your chi distribution. After that, we will discuss the last distribution, which is known as Fisher distribution, and it is famous by the name of Fisher distribution or F distribution. At the end, we have further 2 topics. One is analysis of correlation and regression. The students, if you remember, already we have discussed correlation and regression in the descriptive stats as well, but here inshallah I shall try my level best to give you a quick review about the correlation regression in this semester too. And the last topic, that is time series analysis. We will discuss time series methods, that what are the different techniques to calculate the averages regarding to time series data. Dear students, now we move toward the first topic, and that is statistics. What is statistics? Already we have explained that what is statistics. According to this definition, there are so many definitions of statistics, but according to this definition, that what the statistics is, the word statistics basically derived from a Latin word status, which means useful information to the state or a country. Like for example, size of a population, size of armed forces, number of children born during the year, etc. Actually, it's a Latin word meaning a political state, or this word statistics refers a numerical facts were systematically arranged. In this sense, the word statistics used like statistics of price, statistics of road accident, statistics of crimes, statistics of birth, or statistics of educational institutes, etc. So in this sense, we can simply say statistics is the set of numerical facts in respective fields. Now we will move to the next slide, where we have explained the areas of statistics. Areas of statistics simply means the branches of statistics, the types of statistics. There are so many types of statistics, but regarding to your course, we are going to study only 2 types of statistics. One is known as descriptive statistics, and another is known as inferential statistics. Descriptive statistics. What is descriptive statistics? Descriptive, the word basically derived from the word description. It means describe something. That statistics or a science or methodology which basically describe some numerical facts regarding to their characteristics. Therefore, the definition simply explains that descriptive statistics deals with the procedures used to summarize the information contained in a set of measurements. Or in the simple words, we can say descriptive statistics is a science of collecting, organizing, presenting, analyzing, and interpreting numerical facts to assist in making more effective decisions. Descriptive statistics are statistical methods, procedures, terminologies that summarize, organize, and simplify the data. Simply stated, for example, let's suppose if we ask from 8 students which have subject statistics, do you like statistics? The answer of 6 students is yes. This is simply stated as descriptive statistics. That science which basically describe the overall phenomena regarding to their interest of the researcher. Such methodology, is known as your descriptive statistics. That statistics which describe the things in a numerical facts. After that, we have another type which is known as inferential statistics. Look at here, the word inferential. This word inferential. Now the word inferential basically it means simply making some conclusions, draw some conclusions, do a conclusion, make a result for the population data, simply stated parameter, on the basis of the sample study. That statistic which do analysis for the population data on the basis of the sample study data, or in other words we can simply say a statistic where we study the statistic. Upon the statistic we make a rough conclusion for the population parameters. Such methodology, such science is known as inferential statistics. Now according to this definition, inferential statistics deals with procedures, methods used to make inferences. Inferences mean predictions, conclusions, results about a population parameter from information contained in a sample. In other words, we can say that inferential statistics are the techniques, methods that allow us to study samples and then make generalizations about the populations from which they are selected. For example, if we ask from 8 students which have one subject, statistics, do you like statistics? The answer of the 6 students is yes. This is called descriptive stats. And if we generalize the results that more students of this college or class like statistics, is called simply inferential statistics on the basis of this sample of 6 students. Such statistics that where we study the sample data and we generalize this result for the population or for the parameter data, simply such methodology, such statistics is known as your inferential statistics. Look at the next slide. Dear students, I have explained this concept with the help of this example. It is basically relevant to your inferential statistics. If you concentrate, look at here, if you concentrate this whole, suppose that graphically, picture wise, it is simply known as your whole population, and population simply means the totality. Now these are the small parts which we are taken from your population data. When we study these small samples and overall when we make a conclusion upon these samples to the population data, such inferences about the large group or large population is simply known as your inferential statistics. Hope the idea will be clear right now. Now we will move to the next heading, which is known as the next slide, sorry, which is known as, where is the slide? Here it is. Let me check why it is not working. Okay. Now we move to the next slide. There are some important terminologies. Terminologies simply means some terms. لغات چې موږ ورته وایو. هغه لغات چې ډېر زیات مهمه دي statistics کې. already دا ټول لغاتونه ما descriptive statistics کې تاسو له clear کړی دي. لیکن before starting the inferential statistics part, I would like to give you a slight touch about the descriptive statistics terminologies as well. Later on we have to use these terminologies again in our numerical questions. So therefore I'm going to repeat these terminologies again. First of all, we are going to discuss the first part, which is known as your population. اول چې د لګي population explain کول غواړم چې population څه دی. ګوره simply stated population څه دی؟ population totality ده. all values, all aggregated data, the totality, the total of observations. Observation simply means values. هغه سیس چې کوم تاسو study کول غواړئ as a whole is simply known as your population. याद साथै ټوله ډیټا چې کوم as a for example تاسو study کول غواړئ that is called population. Whatever the members are included in your population, that is known as your population size. और याद साथै population size हमेशा capital N सरा represent की. Don't forget this thing. Capital N. Capital N always shows the size of the population. And size of the population simply stated that how many members or how many elements are there in your total aggregated values or data. The total is aggregated value is simply known as your population. نور موږ explain کولای شو different طریقو سره دا ټول نه اسانه definition ده د population چې what the population is. نور موږ داسې ویلی شو چې population is the set of all individuals of interest in a particular study. یا large mass of data is simply known as your population. Different definition थी लेकिन concept ټول یو دی چې population څه دی. population all aggregated total values simply is known as your population. هر یو member چې کوم population کې دی that is simply known as your element. Then we have the next terminology sample. What is sample? The values taken from the whole values, aggregated values. Such small pieces are known as sample. So then da zahirigi che sample se de sample is a part of population. These small parts which are taken from the population is simply known as sample. So sample is a part or portion or subset of your population. Like suppose tasu ta wayma che I have a bag of rice. Say shwa the whole bag is full of rice, no da masara population de. And when I am taking a hand of rice, زدا سو کما چې یو موټ چې دی دغه راوالما برنج راوالما صرف چیک کولو دی پر کوالټي نو دا یو موټ چې کوم راخص دی ون ا سنگل هاند اف صحیح شو بچي that is simply known as sample. اوس یاد ساتئ sample size دا همیشه small n سره represent کیږي. Small n shows the sample size. अब what does it mean sample size? Sample size mean that how many members are there in your sample. याद ساتئ چې کله هم سامپل کې څوره هم ممبرز دي هغه ته مونږه سبجیکټ وایو یا آبجیکټ وایو او چې پاپولیشن کې څوره یې بچي هغه ته مونږه څه وایو هغه ته مونږه الیمنٹ وایو صحیح شول یا ممبرز وایو. hope inshallah a bit idea will be clear. That was population and sample. Now let's move to the next slide the below show. That is about sampling. What is sampling? Very simple. Already we have discussed. Sampling se de bache, sampling the process that where we select the samples from the aggregate. This process of selecting the samples from the aggregate population, such method is known as your sampling. Later on inshallah we will discuss the different types of sampling, like probability sampling, non-probability sampling. راتون کې لیکچر کې به ان شاء الله تاسو نورم دا ډیټیل کې کلیر کوم لیکن دا ډومبنه لیکچر دی نو د کې صرف اول ټرمینالوجي تاسو له کلیر کول غواړم چې د مقصد څه دی مطلب څه دی. So the process of selecting samples out of the population data is simply known as your sampling. Now we will move to the next terminology which is population parameter and sample statistics. देखिए اوله خبره چې کومه ډیره زیاته مهمه ده اب زه تاسو له اوله کلیر کما چې وګوره دا یاد ساتي همیشه د خپل کلاس کې دا خبره حتما کومه چې ګوره پاپولیشن پی نه سٹارټ کیږي او پیرامیټر هم پی نه سٹارټ کیږي نو یاد ساتي چې پیرامیټر کنیکټډ دی تاسو پاپولیشن سره بس صرف دا یاد ساتي چې پی او پی they are connected. بیا چې موږ کله خبره کوو when we are talking about the sample starts with S and statistics also starts with S. So یاد ساتئ چې statistics connection لري تاسو sample سره نو دینه ان شاء الله تاسو نه هېریږي نه. It means that parameter having a connection with population and statistic having a connection with sample. اوس زموږ مین هدف څه دی چې parameter څه دی او تاسو statistics څه دی. Now let's start چې دا لږ وګورو چې دا دي څه چې دنه ولګه idea والو. Let's start from the first اولنی چې کوم دی دا دی parameter. اول به دا لري کوم چې دا کلیر شي مکمل. ها what is parameter؟ ګوره parameter start کیږي p نه say sure no already mata so the way chigura pin start ki no it means the connection sare the connection population sara according to this definition those numerical quantities which are calculated from population data is called parameter norm sada alfaz ke aga har your formula chikam munga overall population data de par istifada ko that is simply known as your parameter. Suppose I have a salam Saifa Masara Salam University and Salam University contains suppose 1000 the elements Saifa Salam suppose total chede 1000 the gallery size lari sample size lari that is suppose 1000 sorry देखिए क्लियर नहीं की अभ्या हम तो कोशिश कोमा ठीक है 1000 उस बच्चे जितना सुतवाया मां चिदा 1000 कम स्टूडेंटान दी दे तासो एवरेज हाइट मालूम कई उस दे पारा च कम तासो एवरेज फार्मूला इस्तेफादा कोई एवरेज that average which basically we are using to calculate as an aggregated data to calculate the interest the delta height now that formula this average is simply known as taso parameter zaka master se shuru ki hue je parameter p it has a connection with the population data hope inshallah idea will be clear now we will move to the next statistic gura shuru ke सट्टीने स्लाइड की माता आपसे छुए जो पूरा स्टैटिस्टिक्स एस ने स्टार्ट की और स्टैटिस्टिक्स कंसर्न दे सैंपल सरा नो इट मींस कि स्टैटिस्टिक्स दोज न्यूमेरिकल क्वांटिटीज व्हिच आर कैलकुलेटेड फ्रॉम सैंपल डेटा इज कॉल्ड स्टैटिस्टिक या स्टैटिस्टिक इज अ वैल्यू व्हिच डिस्क्राइब्स अ सैंपल डेटा का नोम सादा अल्फाज की तशरीह कमा सपोज दादी टोटल पॉपुलेशन की मा सरा 1000 स्टूडेंटान जितना सुतवायमा कि 1000 स्टूडेंटान के मां सिर्फ और सिर्फ जिते लेट्स सपोज 150 स्टूडेंटान चिकम दे आगा बचे एज अ सिलेक्टेड एज अ सैंपल ताको तासो टोलो द पता चिदा सैंपल शो उस तासो तवायमा चिदा 150 जिदा तासो एज अ सैंपल स्टूडेंटान सिलेक्ट करी दी नाउ दी दुई एवरेज हाइट मालूम कई नाउ यू हैव टू कैलकुलेट फाइंड आउट एवरेज हाइट ऑफ दोज 150 स्टूडेंट्स नाउ 150 students height this average the formula which you are going to use to calculate these 150 students height such formula such average is known as statistic hope idea will be clear inshallah next we are moving to the next slide this slide ke main idea se this slide ke main idea the types of variables already we have discussed these things what the variables are different slides के बच्चे दुई हम आवर करी दी दता सो खपला बया स्टडी हो कई कंटीन्यूअस वेरिएबल्स से तवई जता सुला जर्नल यो आइडिया दर कोमा इट विल मेक योर आइडिया इंशाल्लाह फुल क्लियर दबदा दे स्लाइड ना मुकम्मल तासुला क्लियर कमा चदा वही से और बच्चे व्हाट इज वेरिएबल चलो तो पता था व्हाट इज वेरिएबल से तवई वेरिएबल मुख सन युद्धा से सिंबल दे सादा अल्फाज के a variable is a symbol such as xyz which can assume any of a prescribed set of values like for example the number of students in a class weekly wages etc are all the examples of your variable a measurable quantity which vary from one value to another value मतलब वेरिएबल से वेरिएबल मुख सरा युद्धा से वैल्यू दा युद्धा से क्वांटिटी दा चे आगे वैल्यूज वरी की मतलब जनरली मैथमेटिक्स में एक्स वाई जेड से डिनोट को ठीक है और नोट चे दे स्टैटिस्टिक्स के चे दे हैव द स्पेसिफाइड नेम उस नाउ वी हैव टाइप्स ऑफ वेरिएबल्स da already descriptive stats की माता सुला क्लियर करी हम दी नुज़का दलता दलता सुला दखातर को मागूरा two types of variables यो दे quantitative variables और बल देस्ता सुसरा qualitative variables already slides के में दखा वर्क करे दे explanation वर्क करे दे I have mentioned the explanation in the next slides you can definitely study from those slides here in this slide I would like to give you the main idea about the quantitative and qualitative variable if you notice one thing quantitative quantity here in the quantitative the word quantity is hidden it means something which we can quantify so quantitative variables are those variables which can be quantified which we can definitely find out in terms of numbers those variables which we can calculate which we can write down in the form of numbers is simply known as your quantitative variables on the other hand we have qualitative look at here quality the variables which we cannot express in the number terms or which we can express clear in the quality terms is known as your qualitative variables. उस बच्चे गोरा quantitative variable, like for example height. زويل إيش مكانه زمان height جدي 5 feet 9 inches ده. No, height is equal to 5 feet 9 inches. No, 5 feet 9 inches, 5.9. It is a quantitative. When I'm assigning this 5.9 a numeric term to height, that is simply known as quantitative. When we are talking about qualitative or a quality, I said that's evaluation. Our friendship is 2 kg. Is it appropriate? No, it's not appropriate. It means no much color, feelings, satisfaction. That tools is responsiveness. Say the loyalty, motivation. That tools are qualitative variables. After that, look at here. Quantitative variable chikamde, that is divided into 2 subcategories. Yaw tamunga discrete variables. Bal tamunga continuous variables. सादा अल्फाज की तशरीह को बच्चे चे discrete से तवई पूरा discrete a quantitative variable तवई जो where a variable is taken a complete digit, a full digit without any decimal. Like suppose तासु दवाई मा चे बच्चे तासु बैग के total 100 books प्राती दी नो तासु बहुत मन माता दावी कि ना चे सर्ची जमुंग बैग के total 3 books दी या सलोर books दी तासु उदा से नहीं विले चे सर्ची जमा बैग के 4.5 books दी. No, 4.5 books, is it valid? No, it's not valid. No, kala hum books is equal to books chede, no books chede, books taso sara complete your digit akhli. No, that is known as your discrete quantitative. A variable which is taken always a complete digit without fraction is known as discrete variable. Next is continuous variable. By the name it is clear continuous. So you should jumped data. A variable हमेशा च फ्रिक्शन के बटा के पॉइंट्स के साथ सुना वैल्यू आखली लगा से तासु तवा यमा जमा एज दे 31.5 मतलब 31 years completed the of pindama म्याश तरवाना दा. I have completed my 31 years and I am in my fifth month of the next year. So it means 31.5. That is a continuous fraction. So therefore such is known as your continuous quantitative variable. Byadi bache qualitative. Already I have explained. Qualitative hum दो की तकसीम दे. One is known as your ordinal and second is known as your nominal. उस बचे दलतो करें ordinal. If कता सुलग focus okay, what is ordinal? Sorry, what happened? हाँ. Pen बराबर दो. Now गुरी बचे अवलने तासु गुरी that is ordinal. अब what is ordinal? Ordinal by the name it is clear order. आह variable चे कम के तासु लो order workable शवी यो तरतीब तकम गवी कना first second third नो यो order पकिश्ता दे कना सही शुला बड़ू के आगे ना घट बे आगे ना घट सही शुला दा यो order दे नो आह variable चे कम के तासु लो यो order workable शवी सही शुला that is simply known as your ordinal variable. लेकिन ज़ित तासु तो है माँ दलते यो example में work करते level of satisfaction. Here it is. दा पेन बराबर ले माँ चिदा पेन वाली कार न कही I don't know. Let me check. चिदा पेन वाली कार न कही हाँ I don't know why it's not working. लेकिन पेन लगी कार न कही चले बिया बियो गुरु गुरे that which is सासुसरा level of satisfaction. Pen is not working. I don't know why it's not working. लेकिन चले let's see. गुरा level of satisfaction. बच्चे मात्रा यो let's suppose मात्रा Samsung मोबाइल ले ताकि यो सर्वे कोई खल्क ने गोरी चे आया खल्क Samsung ने सोरा खुशाल दी. You want to make a survey and you want to find out that how many people they are satisfied clear and how much satisfied from the Samsung mobile or cell phone. Now you make a question that do you satisfy from the Samsung? Up you have to make a question: highly satisfied, most satisfied, less satisfied, not satisfied. Now look at here: highly satisfied, most satisfied, less satisfied, not satisfied. All these are simply clear known as an order. So such variable where we have an order or rank is simply known as your ordinal variable. Under qualitative, the next is nominal. Look at here, nominal. By the name it is clear, nominal. Nominal is that variable which basically categorizes the whole data. मतलब यो दासी वेरिएबल چې هغه صرف और सिर्फ कैटेगराइज की ओवरऑल डेटा هغه ته موږ وایو نومینل. نومینل مطلب هم دا دی چې کیټګوریکل. لکه زه تاسو ته وایم سپوز جندر. अब جندر ما سره یو ویریبل دی، لیکن جندر کې ګوري بچي جندر کې میل هم راشي او جندر کې فیمیل هم راشي. نو ګوره جندر صرف میل او صرف فیمیل موږ دا خو نه وایو کنه چې میل ار مور سپیریور دین فیمیل یا فیمیل ار مور سپیریور دین میل. صحیح شو؟ موږ صرف دا وایو چې جندر کې میل هم راغلل، جندر کې فیمیل هم راغلل. صحیح شو؟ So that variable which only categorizes the overall data into different categories is known as your nominal. نورم کې دي شي لکه religion مذهب شو. صحیح شو؟ دین علاوه classes BBA 4th BBA 5th BBA 6th. صحیح شو؟ نو the class څه دی؟ the class ما سره یو nominal variable دی. Hope inshallah the idea will be clear. Thank you so much. This was the end of the lecture. If you have any question که تاسو سو query دي question نه بالکل تاسو ته پوسټ کولای شي. already دا سيزونه بچي مونږه descriptive statistics کې ویلي دي نو ځکه ما دوره ډیټیل کې ایکسپلین نه کړل. باقي inferential statistics کې کوم terminologies ان شاء الله اب تاسو له فولي ډیټیل کې تشریح کوم. ډیره زیاته مننه. Thank you so much.